Hey Grace House Churches, my name's Josh. I'm glad to be joining you. Today's conversation is a little bit more heavy than usual, but that's what happens when you're teaching through a book of the Bible. Some weeks are lighter, some weeks are heavier. But the content of the second half of Hebrews chapter 11 is telling the story of spiritual heritage of our family of following Jesus. And last week it was like what faith is, deliberate action built on God's character, even when I don't feel it, see it, or understand it. And this week it's like what faith does. And it shows the cost of following Jesus. And the second half of Hebrews 11 tells stories of great victories, of people receiving things they prayed for. And then it transitions to great defeats and people who were faithful to endure even when they didn't get what they thought they were going to get. And so it led us to just have a conversation about the story of Hebrews in the time period it was in, landed in what's called the golden age of martyrdom, which was the first 300 years of Christianity. And over 10,000 people gave their lives for Jesus in this season. And it just showed us that we're not called to ease, we're called to endurance. And the author of Hebrews writes this letter in the middle of that terrible season in Christian history. And he doesn't ask his church to just get through it. He tells them to endure and to set their eyes and their mind on the ultimate circumstance, which is heaven with God, so that they can endure their current circumstance. And so I talked about so much of the modern messaging of Christianity is that your breakthrough's coming, your anointing's coming, favor's coming, and then just get through this battle or this storm or whatever metaphor is being used, and on the other side you'll be fine. And you open the Bible and you see that yes, there's victory, but there's also defeat. And for everyone that is celebrating, someone is grieving. And we need to make room for this as well in our following of Jesus. And so I use the GPS illustration that when you're traveling and you see traffic, you can pull up your phone and be like, hey, this is only going to last for 3 minutes or 12 minutes or whatever. We don't have that same luxury in following Jesus. We don't know how long it's going to last with chronic pain or trouble with our family or a season of singleness or whatever you're going through. But the call is not to know how long and to endure. The call is to trust God and to endure even when you don't know. And so church, this week, my hope is that we can have a conversation about our current circumstance. What are you going through? What are you carrying? And are you trusting God not just to get you through it, but to teach you what He has for you while you're in it? And to endure while you're in it, and to have God's glory on your mind while you're in it, and to ultimately have your thoughts on heaven, because that's the way that you transform your current experience. And so this conversation may get a little heavy, but my hope is that we can leave encouraged and we can recognize that faith doesn't always look like getting the victory. Sometimes faith looks like being faithful even in defeat. So I hope you guys have a good conversation.